Confused about concealer? Me too. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca. Today we are going to talk concealers. I'm going to give you my Sephora favorites that are brands you can buy there just because we're almost at the end of the sale. But I figure if you do not want to shop that sale, or if some of these brands carry over to Ulta or other retailers, and with Black Friday coming and holiday specials, I figured this is still good to bookmark so that you can decide what could be good for you if I like it. I have a number of concealers from all price points. So let's talk first, probably, is this the most expensive one I have? I think so, and it's Sarah Creel. Is this how she says it? I've only read it. I've never heard it spoken. What if it's Sarah Surreal, like cereal? Anyway, my apologies. This is a new brand at Sephora. It is geared for mature skins. It's sort of the idea that let's not waste time. Let's have something really good and worth our money, and we're worth it. And it comes through with the packaging, the ingredients. I love the philosophy, and it seems to be a very female-driven company with, it's, I guess, an indie brand. I mean, if you're at Sephora, are you an indie brand? But you know what I mean. I'm gonna start with this one because it really is very good and I like it, but I want you to know that I also have some that are kind of in the $20 and $30 price point. So if you want a really good concealer, you don't have to spend $50, but if you want to spend $50, I will tell you what I think about this concealer. Is that fair? Okay. And I am just, it's a doe foot. It's a very, it's a glass bottle. It has a really, I would say this is full coverage. And I'm trying to decide if it's self-setting. For me, it kind of is, and it doesn't have to be self-setting for it to, be sort of a winner. But it is nice to have something that isn't drying but doesn't move, right? So I am going to take my BK Beauty A506, and what I've noticed about this concealer is goes a long way. And it not necessarily, like, it really is doing the work. I'm gonna just pull this down the rest of my face. And I think that's the other thing that, she kind of, it's really great to have a product. You can use this all over if you want. And I feel like a lot of concealers are like that lately. I mean, some are more like under your eyes and some are all over the face. And here's some color correcting and here's some for if you want to just match your skin tone and put it over a blemish, of course. But you can match your skin with your under eye concealer. You don't have to go a shade lighter if you don't want to. Yeah. Okay. So with that, beautiful, two concealers I love that I think are $32 or so. Natasha Denona, the High Glam, fantastic concealer, truly. And Haus Labs. I really like this concealer. So Natasha Denona and Haus Labs. I'm gonna show you these on my cheek. I think the Haus Labs, okay, so this is 13 Light Neutral, and the Sarah is 2.0. Now, the other thing to talk about, this is a complexion enhancer. So can be your only product. And it is made in Italy. It is a beautiful, beautiful product. All right. I think this is made in Korea, and I think the Natasha Denona might be made in Italy. Whatever. Okay. So N3 and 13 Light Neutral. Lots of shade choices. Lots of shade choices in both these brands. So I'm going to give you one. First, I'm going to do Natasha Denona. This one is a little bit more tan than this one was. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this. Also, I'm kind of breaking my rule. And if you've seen other under eye kind of tips and tricks, concealer application videos from me, I really emphasize putting concealer on the back of your hand first and then taking it into your brush and applying it. But because I feel like I'm doing more of I want to show you the product and how thick it is, how, you know, what give me the texture, you know what I mean? So the House Labs, I find it to be very similar like this. And I like that you can use this all over. So I'm gonna kind of put this here where you can see that. I'm gonna still use this brush. And it's a very similar color tone to the N3 Natasha Denona. So Rare Beauty, the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer. She also has kind of an under eye brightener, which is like a corrector, kind of more like a backlight. So look at how light this shade is. I ordered it online and I guessed, and I do this with Rare Beauty. I bought the tinted moisturizer, also too light, but I bought the powder too dark. Oh my gosh. So this shade is 170W. I really thought it would be dark enough. And I think that that's just sort of the models they pick. I felt like I related to, but it's clearly too pale. Let me show you. I think I like this concealer a lot. I love how the doe foot kind of holds the product. I'm gonna put a little bit just here for you to see how white that is. There is a lot of pale. It's very pale. And I'm gonna put this is a Flower Beauty brush. It's so similar. And I have the little Rare Beauty brush like this one. Rare Beauty makes a brush smaller than this. And I can't find it. Okay, so here is the 170W in the Rare Beauty, and you can see how it is too pale. This is more of a backlight concealer. So this concealer will definitely be that principle of buy a concealer lighter than your skin tone, and then, you know, but we know now that what they told us in the 80s and 90s doesn't necessarily work if we have like dark gray or kind of dark blue under eye area and you're just constantly throwing out more light product, you're not really balancing it or giving those dark circles. See, even me, I can see my dark circles, right? So you've got to, I didn't do any corrector. I think powder helps too. So this Rare Beauty one is very workable, but I might exchange it. I still haven't made up my mind. Okay, so one more that I want to talk about, because I know this is getting confusing and my face is just painted with concealer. The Say Beauty. So this is the niacinamide, the brightening, the slip tint. There is another one they came out with last year, the year before, but this is this year's, and I love it. And I love it all over. I use this throughout the summer. I'm very much like to layer products and kind of do a la carte, where I'm just kind of taking tints and correctors and liquid bronzer, and I used this all over. And this is shade 5. I had originally bought shade 6, and it was too dark. I felt like it was just not enough brightness for my concealer shade. And it's a little bit of it's a doe foot, but it has that little scoop, little scoop, and it's got skincare ingredients. So I'm just gonna put it here so you can see it. I'm gonna take the Flower Beauty, and I just think that the 5 is such a better shade than the 6 for me. And it works beautifully wherever you want to put it. And yeah, so you can see how, even though, and let me just say this, even though right here, still looks a little bit dark. And I'm gonna powder and I'm gonna show you kind of my finished look. But there's only so much we can do, you know? Let yourself have a little bit of discoloration. Let yourself have some freckles, a little bit, maybe some pink complexion, or, you know, your dark circles, or your, like, there's only so much we can humanly do. It's okay. You can look like a human. You don't have to look like an Instagram filter. I know it's really hard, but, and I'm not saying like lower your standards or just, you know, give up. What I'm saying is just know that it's okay to look like a human being. And if you're a 50-year-old human being, it's okay to look like that too. So we can be beautiful and still have like fine lines or some dark circles. Okay, yeah, I need to, the luminosity of everything is coming through because I haven't powdered, but I'm gonna show you. So we've got the Sarah Creel is hanging tough. Like it really, it's New Kids on the Block here, you guys. It is the new kid on the block. It is not really going anywhere. It's not really creasing on me. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. The Natasha Denona, it's doing a fair job. I love it. I'm still gonna love it. It's got like some emollients coming through. It isn't setting on its own, and that's okay. That's okay. But and also the House Labs and the Say Beauty, like a lot of emollients. So just know that emollient ingredients in creases have nowhere to go but down, you know? I mean, there's really just nowhere to go. So when you want to prevent that, you want to powder immediately, and you don't have to cake it on, but you definitely want to powder before creasing sets in. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make sure everything is really crease free. I'm going to use my milk powder, you guys. Again, so this is a matte blur powder, and I was afraid of it at first. Stephanie Marie, she was the one who was like raving about this. Now she lives in Louisiana, and I'm like, girl, you live where it's humid. I live in Seattle. Yes, it rains a lot here, but we do have dry days, and you know, we do not have the humidity of Louisiana. But she loved this, and so we're the same age. I think I'm older. I was like, okay, what if she loves it so much on her mature skin? So I tried it, and I gotta say, I am so impressed how well it goes on without looking powdery. I've got just a Amazon puff. I'm gonna knock off some of the excess, and we are gonna do just a little bit of that. And right here, yeah? All right, gonna do a little over. All right, yeah. The House Labs is, it's got arnica and some other, everything has niacinamide in it these days. So I'm wondering if it's got a lot of some really, what I love about the House Labs and the Natasha Denona is when I'm feeling like I want that glow, I really love those products. Now, I didn't realize how well the Sarah one is just like becoming my new favorite. Idea is not for me to sell you something. The idea is for me to demonstrate a product and show it to you so that you can decide for yourself if you want it. That's it. I'm only trying to give you another dimension of what's already on websites, and if you can't try it on yourself. That's what I'm doing, okay? I don't want you guys to think that I'm shoving, you know, I'm selling you on these high-priced concealers. That's not it, okay? So I kind of feel like everything looks really good, and I think that there is way more coverage on this side than this side. And I'm okay with that, but it's really good to see it because I thought they were the same until I did this little exercise. So I'm gonna put on some Sigma bronzer. I'm gonna put the ColourPop holiday set on, and this is such a good, quick little, such a great little what I do is I do a little bit right here. And then just going to take kind of a fluffy brush and spread that out. I feel like we used to kind of put it right here, and I'm kind of using the strategy of pulling things more up and kind of smudge that in. I forgot to do one thing. Take just a brown, neutral, whatever shadow you already used on your lid. I've got a nice soft smudger brush, and I think what helps kind of to distract from any dark circles is actually kind of give a soft, smoky, lower line. I know this seems counterintuitive. Yeah? Yeah? I don't know if I can get any closer. My camera doesn't focus. It's sort of a whatever 4K weirdo thingy. So yeah, but man, I'm liking, do you see what I mean? I like a lot of concealers. And so I'm sort of like a wardrobe of concealers. It's like, okay, whatever my mood is, what my makeup look is like that day. And like I said, I'm really fond of all of these, but they all have something different. And like, I feel like this part of my face looks really radiant, and all I did was powder, and this part looks a little more like matte satin. I don't know. How is that? I'm not wearing any foundation, you guys. So just keep that in mind too. There's a couple concealers that catch your eye and you really want to try them. Maybe you don't need foundation. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to list everything in the description box. Thank you. I hope if you had fun in this video, watching, hanging out, please subscribe. That would mean so much to me. And tell your friends if they like makeup too. And I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. I'll see you next time. Bye.